The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Hari Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Nityananda, Nityananda, Gora Chandra, Gora Chandra, 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 Nityananda, 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 Gora Chandra, Gora Chandra, Gora Chandra, Gora Chandra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everybody. Welcome. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, 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 Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda. Let's see here. Chaitanya Bhagavat, this book here. Hare Krishna. Lord Chaitanya visits the house of the Kazi with his Sankirtan party. Page 505. All glories to Sri Chaitanya, who is an ocean of all transcendental excellences. All glories to him who is known as Vishvambara, who is the lawgiver of the entire material creation. You are very dear to Sri Nityananda and the crest jewel of the Brahminical race. All glories to you, dear most devotees. Sri Vishvambara continued his transcendental activities in Navadvip, but not all could see them. As Vishvambara, the supreme hero, having descended from Vaikuntha, went about revealing his pastimes, the sublime joy of the devotees also increased. Vishvambara was accompanied everywhere by his dearmost associate brother Nityananda. And they, together with all the devotees, ecstatically relished the transcendental mellows. The Lord was always intoxicated, drinking the nectar of his own transcendental name. Every night, the Lord was always intoxicated, drinking the nectar of his own transcendental name. Every night he was submerged in the congregational chanting of the Lord's name, but only with his devotees. The non-devotees were disallowed to these kirtans. No one could fathom the Lord's potencies or activities. The envious persons, not being welcome to these kirtans, went around spreading bad rumors. Someone said, "Who can be a real Vaishnava in Kali Yuga? All those people are doing simply, they're just doing this simply for their food." Someone else said, "If we could tie their hands and feet and throw them into a pond, then we might enjoy peace and quiet." Yet another said, know one thing for certain. These Nimai Pandit will ruin this village. See, so, what we're doing is not surprising. I mean, people were getting flack also, just like they did then, because they had the transcendental potency of the Lord. See, they were relishing the holy name. He was relishing the holy name. They were relishing the holy name. And that caused a transcendental power to manifest. See? And people who don't understand it, most people don't understand it. They go against this. So is it surprising that we have the same thing happen again? People say, "Who can? They're not real Vaishnavas. This cannot be like this." Yeah, here we're doing the same thing, chanting in ecstasy, relishing these mellows. Just like then, relishing the name. See, and most people they respond like that. Not most, but many, maybe most actually. Yeah. See, know for certain, friends, this Nimai Pandit will ruin this village. And what was their fault? They just chanted the holy name in ecstatic devotion. See, and they considered this will ruin the village. What is this? Yeah. I guess this has to be done, like to build back better. It's just you have to take down the original system and create it like a new world order. It's the same kind of idea, and people they think that they say that to me. I hear that quite a bit. What are you trying to destroy? What Prabhupada did, what he built up. He built up a society of rules and ceremonies and everything, and you want to take it down with this ecstatic chanting. Well, is that a bad thing? I mean, isn't that what the Lord actually did? Didn't he come here to bring this ecstatic chanting? See? So we got to take down the old world order, that Vaishnavism is a system of rules and regulations and ceremonies and fire sacrifices. Okay? No, it's a Harinam in ecstasy. Chanting the names with tasting these transcendental mellows, which you can only get from devotees who have this taste. Yeah. They even reverted to threatening the devotees. You notice we get for threatened too. Oh, we must be doing the right thing, huh? Even our masters, the previous acharyas way back when, were threatened, and we get also threatened. Well, look at Lalita Ganga and myself too. They said, "We know where you live. We're going to come and we're going to, take you out." Hmm. But because of the hearts were devoid of any piety, they could not influence the devotees and so could not participate in the kirtans. And see, that's why Facebook Live is really nice, because if people become like that, they can't participate in the kingdom. All they can do is try to disturb it, a little bit. We just put the block. Sorry, man. You're a disturbance. You block them and then they can't see nothing. Well, that's what they get. One could still have the rules and rituals, but it has to be infused with ecstatic experience. Yeah. Yeah, but you see, you can have the rules and rituals infused with, yeah, that's very nice to say, but it doesn't work like that. You try to go and practice ecstatic experience in the rules and regulations, and you see you get thrown out of every friggin' temple. I know. Others know that have that experience. You try to go to Mangal Artik and cry and laugh and dance around and even twirl. I tried that thing. I came to chant and do the rules of chanting. That's a rule, man. Chant the holy name. I sat there and chanted and infused with the ecstasy. Oh, what does that mean? That means the tears and the ecstasy and the shaking and the hair standing on, pouring tears, laughing like a madman. Oh, let's see you try and do that in the David. Huh? Let's see you do that over there in the temples and see how far that goes. I've tried many times. I not try. I mean, it's spontaneous. It doesn't work because people don't know. These are the rituals here. Avaiti Bhakta chants the holy name too, right? I got my bead bag. They got their bead bag. So I'm infusing the ritual of chanting, and then the tears come, the ecstasy comes, the bliss comes, like that, and they don't like it. Eh? They don't like it. See, so that's because of contamination. That's because that's all they got are the rules and regulations. The rules and regulation. People think, oh, the regulative rules of bhakti. That's all the don'ts. Don't. And then you do the do's. Chant, chant, chant. Dry. Worship the Lord. Dry, dry, dry. Walk around. Do the parikrams. Dry, dry, dry. You hear me? You know what I'm talking about. I know, I've been there, done that, man. You know how many times they want to kick me out of the temple? Oh, the Lord never taught. I had delegations of devotees come here, kick me out of the Mangal Arti because I was just dancing in ecstasy. Or I twirled around once in the temple. And one time, and the guy was so envious, the temple president, and came right up to me, right while we're worshiping the deities. How dare you turn your back to the deity? All I did was I spun around one friggin' time. How ridiculous it is. Yeah. So these are the rules. When you do like chanting the holy name and relishing mellows, that's you. You're doing the reg. You're doing sadhana, but in ecstasy. So, so Sri Chaitanya performed these nocturnal kirtans and purified the entire material existence. So that's how that's how why people are here. I for 20 years I was doing this chanting in ecstasy, but alone. Like I would have turned the camera on, and usually nobody would be there for 25 years. Sometimes people come and go, but this purifies the atmosphere. People just subtly are getting purified by our ecstatic chanting. And now, because we're all doing this is purifying the atmosphere. Because you see, that's the only way to really do it. This is very powerful. I get a warm glow around my heart by hearing. Oh, well, that's good. Yeah. Many townsfolk desired very much to see these kirtans and lamented bitterly because upon their exclusion and ascribing the reason to their great misfortune. Some of them would approach one of the devotees and pray to them to first deliver them from their sins and then secretly smuggle them inside the kirtan hall. Nevertheless, the devotees knew that the Lord is omniscient and the supersoul, and that he would immediately detect an unauthorized person. His presence, and out of fear of inviting the Lord's wrath, the devotees refused to take anyone inside. Once a brahmachari, a celibate student who is very peaceful, honest, and faultless, practicing penances and living only on milk and fruits, wanted to see the kirtan of the Lord. However, the Lord would personally shut the doors so the non devotees could not enter. See, this brahmachari would visit Srivas Pandit every day and repeatedly request him to be allowed for the kirtan. He would say, "If you kindly take me inside your house during the kirtan, then I would feast my eyes on the pandits chanting and dancing. I will be ever grateful to you for this." So finally, one day, Srivas replied, "I know you to be a good person who spends a sinless life eating only fruits and milk, maintaining strict celibacy. I think you are eligible to see the Lord's kirtan." See, he starts out and says, "Oh, yeah, this is what they teach in Vaishnavism. Oh, yeah, I think that by being celibate and following the rules and regulations and being a vegetarian, and this guy was more. He was more than that. He was a fruitarian, man, drank only milk and fruits." Yeah. And you see the Lord's attitude. He was like, "Get him out of here. He's polluting my kirtan." But you have to remain hidden inside the Lord's hidden inside the house, since the Lord's orders are that no one is to be allowed within. There's a lot of deep things that come from this. Like I'm getting all kinds of these realizations now. This is this always ever fresh. Yeah. Yeah. It's why, in a sense, the devotees are more merciful than the Lord in that sense. See, the Lord, his house is a house of purity. Only pure devotees go there. You can only worship the Lord with unalloyed ecstatic love. Otherwise, you're not real allowed in the house of God. You're not allowed in Vrindavan, not transcendental Vrindavan. You can't experience what that is. You're not allowed into the intimate kirtan of the Lord and see the intimate dance of the Lord unless you're invited in by the devotee, like Srivas. You think that's any different than what's going on here right now? No, you're invited to come and to see the Lord. The real Lord is an ecstatic Lord. You get to see, if you see ecstasy, you see ecstatic worship, you're seeing God, my friends. If you hear these kinds of truths, conclusive understanding of the absolute truth, no compromise, which the neophytes aren't allowed to hear, and you're here because you want to hear. See? Well, you invited. So the devotees are more merciful than the Lord in that sense, because without their mercy, like Srivas, that brahmachari could not get into the house of the Lord. What did Jesus teach? In my Father's house are many mansions. See, my Father's house, and I'm the door. Didn't he say that? Well, that's the real bona fide spiritual master, my friend. The real authentic devotee. The speculators can't get you into the intimate kirtan of the Lord. See? The big false renunciates, the ones who preach the austerities and many lifetime preaching, can't get you into the house of the Lord. But look at this, some guy with a t-shirt gets you into the house of the Lord. No matter who you are, what you are, if you want to come in, come on in. And these false renunciates and those who believe in that path of austerities and renunciation and speculation, they can't get in. They can't chant the holy name in ecstasy. They don't even like it. They criticize it like the fault finders did here. Isn't that interesting? See? What goes around comes around again. 500 years later, the same opportunity, the same obstacle. People come here, you're going to hear the real Leela. You're going to see the real Leela. You're going to say, wow, man, this is happening again. Look at this, man. Same thing. People criticizing ecstatic chanting, the tasting of mellows, saying we're trying to destroy Prabhupada's movement. Same thing they said there. You guys are destroying our village. Okay? And he was. That was true. We're also destroying the old system. What do you want? Old Testament Vaishnavism? It's like there's a difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament in the Bible. The New Testament in the Bible is full of the Lord's mercy to get the gift of becoming a saint when you can't, the Pharisees couldn't become saintly. They couldn't become saints. They couldn't get over speculation. See, because they didn't have the New Testament, and then Jesus brought it. He was an intimate worshiper of God that had the right understanding. Bhagavad Gita 10:10 was in Jesus. It's in the real followers of Lord Caitanya. Bhagavad Gita 10:10, to those who worship Lord Caitanya with loving ecstasy. He gives them the right path. See, they gives them the right understanding. That's the door, my friends. He gives them the real transcendental knowledge without speculation. That's the door, my friends. He gives them the real ecstatic devotion. That's the playground, my friends. That's the narrow gate. Can't get any more narrow than that. These thousands of gurus can't get you in the door, but one real good son, transcendental son of Prabhupada can and is. And you become doors for others also. To be honest with you, I was in a little angry mood today, so this is perfect. This is perfect for my mood. I just wanted to chew up some atheists today. Just chew them up, man. Chew up their old world order and bring in the new world order. This is the new normal, man. Worship God in ecstasy and intimacy. Worship him in truth. Like Jesus said, your Father is very much looking for the worship in spirit. See, spirit, ecstatic spirit with the tears and the laughter and the bliss. And truth, a conclusive understanding of everything as it is. See, ecstasy is the real path of pure devotional service. The devotees who ecstatically worship the Lord with tears and ecstasy are the real door to that ecstasy and that intimacy with God. See, these kinds of things give us a good punch. I knew I needed to read something with a little anger. Once a brahmachari. Okay, yes. The kirtan started in the 14 worlds. Vishambara began to dance. Lord Nityananda Gadadhar Pandit danced around the Lord. While Advaita was dancing hither and thither, floating on waves of joy, everyone was drowned in an ocean of ecstasy, becoming oblivious to the external world. As the Lord of Vaikuntha, lost within himself, danced to his devotees singing. See, the Lord dances to the devotees singing. When you chant the holy name or speak it or chant it in japa, if you're a real devotee, the Lord dances. He dances in your heart, man. See, you got to either have that situation, the Lord's dancing outside of you as well as inside, or in separation here. That when you chant or you sing the names, the Lord starts dancing in your heart. See, and the party begins. You notice when you ever go to parties and everybody's ha ha ha, laughing, having a good time, a lot of joy. You're drinking, you're getting stoned on alcohol or smoking pot or something, right? Having a great old time. Hey, it's similar, man, but that's the old system, man. That's the way the world does it. This is the way the devotees do it, man. They smoke Krishna, man. They're tasting his name. They eat Krishna. They drink that wine. They become intoxicated by that ecstasy. They don't say, "Don't give me any of that wine." No, you want the new wine. You want this ecstatic devotion, right? What is this? Don't give me any of it. That's what these guys are telling us. Can you believe it? Don't give us that wine. We don't want that wine. Of course you do. Everybody wants a little transcendental intoxication. But I worship Lord Caitanya all the time and not necessarily in ecstasy. Ah, I'm glad you said that. Well, if you come to sadhu sangha more often, your ecstasy will develop. Otherwise, you may just see Lord Caitanya, and your relationship will be like that. Very cordial. Oh, Lord Chaitanya's here. Very nice. But if you want that to increase your association with devotees who are hearing and chanting and praising the Lord, because the Lord comes in the midst of us and he'll increase your ecstasy. I mean, if you want that. I mean, that's what I want, man. I mean, that's what Janaki wants. That's what Lalita Ganga wants. And if you hang out real closely in these sadhu sangha programs, you'll want that too. You'll see that's the most intelligent thing is to want this ecstasy. Okay? And from that desire, it'll come in this kind of association. It's something that grows. Okay? But if you neglect this, if you see Lord Chaitanya, you might just be, oh, it's like this. When you see devotees chanting in ecstasy, it gives you a desire for that, and then the Lord will start to reciprocate with you. And you get purified being in the midst of these situations. You see the ecstatic devotees here, like Lalita Ganga, like Johan, like Govinda, like Fanny, like Amy, like a lot of devotees here. It's because they come to sadhu sangha and they appreciate these things. They become increasingly ecstatic. They hanker for that. They see the devotees worshiping ecstasy. Oh, I also want to do that. See, that's greed. You come here, my God, you get a chance to get spiritual greed here. People don't have spiritual greed. You spend your whole life. Most people spend their whole lives never desiring intimacy and ecstatic worship of God, simply because they've never seen a devotee intimately and ecstatically worshiping God. I become greedy even seeing my disciples worshiping the Lord in ecstasy more than I do sometimes. I think, well, I want to worship like Johan and Lilita Ganga. I also want to be intoxicated like Govinda. What about you guys? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Or am I the only greedy person here? I know Janaki's like that. She always wants more. Mary Sachi also wants more because she, you come. So anyway, that's the principle. The more you come, the more you'll get this greed. So I'm glad you asked. It's a great comment there. I've been waiting for you to ask that, actually. See, Janaki, I want it. I want it. I can't imagine life without this amazing Sangha. See, that's that. These are the kind of devotees. And she's new, but somehow, probably from past lives, she knows, just this is important. And she's getting the mercy and is feeling it. See? Amy also. That's why this conclusive glorification comes out of their mouths. So anyway, just to get the opportunity to watch these sadhu sang programs, oh, you are very fortunate. There are people that actually leave these programs and don't come and see them, and they think they're on the real path. No, the real path is this: is that you'll get automatically the fog will clear in there, and you'll see, wow, man, what a wonderful opportunity. Can you imagine coming to see Jesus? If you were, who wouldn't say, boy, I wish I was with Jesus and hear him talking. Whoa, you think this is any different or any more? Less? This is so much more. I have to tell you the truth because people, they got a lot of cobwebs in there. I listened to my whole class again. Myself, I listened to the whole thing almost. I asked some devotee this morning, do you see the class? No. That kind of got me a little irked. Oh, really? I listened to the whole class over again. How many times do I get a chance to hear what's coming through? It's like a dance, man, like a symphony. And that things that Jesus didn't say, that Prabhupada didn't say. You think I wish Prabhupada I was born when Prabhupada was here. This is even a better time because we're saying things by the disciplic sessions, mercy, even more, and people are sleeping in. Well, I just thought I'd tell you. I watch you once or twice a day. Okay, good. Anyway, this is for those who may not be doing that. The only sound to be heard were the names of the Lord, and the Lord now manifested all ecstatic symptoms in unlimited waves of nectar. See, the devotees got to see these waves of ecstasy. This is what's going on in our Sangha. The Lord is manifesting all this ecstasy and all these truths. See, the truth and the ecstasies. See, sometimes devotees might be in these esoteric truths, and sometimes in the mood of the ecstasy. See, and the Lord's manifesting that here, and that's how we get purified. So the omniscient Supreme Lord, Vishwambara, was fully aware of the presence of the brahmachari, even though he had concealed himself. After a short while, the Lord commented, "Today, I do not feel the usual ecstasy while dancing. Can any one of you explain this?" Well, let's see. Let's explain this. Why wasn't the Lord feeling the usual ecstasy? Well, one reason is he just wanted to teach people that it's those who are not faithful, those who are the non-devotees, they're the inauthentic persons. They can cause people not to be ecstatic. See, and that's what happened. I spent 5 years around those who were against this ecstatic worship. See, that's called Vaidhi Bhakti. Many of them they're not schooled in this. They don't know how valuable it is. That's one of our teachings here, is to teach people what real value is. See, and if you have too many people, or even one person, they come into this sangha here, and they're non-believers, and they disturb the activities here, and the Lord hides inside our hearts. See, so I spent 5 years in sanghas like that, where the Lord retreated because these persons were against devotion. See, all the way up into the Narayan Raj group. I mean, they were against this kind of bhakti. Yeah. People, you just gotta understand there. That's just how it is. That's why this bhakti manifests here and proves itself to be true, because the ecstatic symptoms that are described in these books are manifested. See, and then we can look at the books, and it confirms the ecstatic experience of devotees. See, that's Shastra, and that's Sadhu, and that's Guru. Guru says, yeah, this is authentic devotion. See, the Shastras say that, and the experience of you sadhus who are awakening, your bhakti is awakening, are saying, yeah, this is different than anything. This is better than anything. This caused a revolution in my life. This is what needs to be preached in this world. People are believing that which is not real as real. People are believing speculation as the real path, and is not. See, the real devotees who have the mercy of Lord Caitanya, chapter 3 and 4, first verses. Those who have the real mercy of Lord Caitanya, that mercy is this ecstatic, intimate worship of God. The greatest feeling you can ever have, the greatest knowledge you can ever get. Those who have that, that's called the mercy of Lord Caitanya. They can explain these things in the vision of the revealed scriptures. No one else. That's why ecstatic devotion awakens in devotees here, because you hear conclusions that are pleasing to that ecstasy devotional personified, Radharani, in your heart, in your own heart. I'm just here to please her, like Krishna pleases her. Give her a thrill, and you feel it because you're devotees. Today, I do not feel the usual ecstasy while dancing. Can any of you explain it? Well, we just explained it. The Lord hides when he's around non-devotees. That's why Vaidhi Bhakti, if you're a Vaidhi Bhakta, and most are, and if you're a Vaidhi Bhakta and you're against this ecstatic devotion, which most are, simply because they don't understand it, because their gurus don't understand it yet. The Devananda Pandit obstacle here, he didn't understand it either. Devananda Pandit was a Brahmin. He was like that brahmachari. Both of them, they were celibates, and they did fastings, and they followed rules, and they chanted. But in one way, he was not like that brahmachari. That brahmachari was open, going the right way. He went to Srivas and said, "Oh, you get me into the kirtan. You're a devotee. See, you get me into the kirtan." So that's how Devananda Pandit differed from this brahmachari. See, and then the devotee got him into the kirtan. Even the Lord said, you can't bring anybody because it's against my orders. But the devotee can. It's like, you come here. We're getting you into the kirtan here, my friends. You're not qualified to be in the kirtan of the Lord, but the Lord is saying, you're my devotee, and then whoever you bring into my intimate relationship, I will accept, because if they accept you, they accept me. If they accept your conclusion, they accept me. If they accept a speculator like that Ramai's conclusion, Ramai Vrijavasi's conclusion, well, they don't accept me. They don't get the real me. You're giving the real truth. See? How do you know? How does the Lord confirm it? You become ecstatic hearing these classes. You become ecstatic chanting in this association. Your love for that Lord Caitanya develops. See? And if you ask a good question like, well, I don't feel the ecstasy, then I tell you the answer because the Lord shows me the answer. And if you follow that principle, oh, well, let me go to Sadhu Sangha more. Let me go to the live more. Let me interact with the devotees. Let me make more friends with more devotees. See? Let me get over the obstacles more. See, I don't feel comfortable around non-devotees. Well, that's what we're here to preach. A lot of people feel comfortable around non-devotees. They don't know any better, right? They don't have any perspective. They don't know what it is to be around ecstatic devotees who produce the word of God, man, the word of the transcendental Lord to awaken in you. See, if you get that experience, and that experience is here, then you go and you listen to non-devotees, and you see it's not enough to say, oh, this is a devotee. Why? Because they have a dhoti on. Oh, he's a devotee. Why? Well, they were initiated by a guru. Oh, they're a devotee because they're part of this group or that group. You get perspective here. Oh, they're non-devotees right now still. They're wannabe devotees. I know what a devotee is because I get to see them before me, those who have ecstatic devotion, those who love of God is awakened. Now I can see what real devotion is and what real devotees who exude that from them ecstatic emanates. I could see them preaching the word that facilitates that awakening, that makes it real in your life. Wow, that's the highest truth, is this ecstatic worship that Lord Caitanya brought. Wow, that is the highest truth, is the mercy of Lord Caitanya, which comes through his real devotees in the word they preach. Wow, these are real devotees where ecstatic devotion is emanating out of them. We're confirmed by the scriptures and the books and the examples of the bygone devotees. Where else are you going to know what truth is unless you see the truth before you, unless you hear the truth through your ear, and you just discern it like, oh, I see the other stuff is speculations. Look at these people here. You can see people raised to the ecstatic platform, Prema Bhakti, and these other gurus say, oh, many lifetimes before that. Only because they don't preach what we preach. They don't radiate what we radiate. Pretty simple, huh? Yeah, and this is that's how you empty and cleanse. You got to hear these truths. Hmm. Whew. I had a frozen life that is now completely thawed by the absolute truth. That's how it is. You're born of the word, Fanny. That goes for everybody. You're born of the word, the conclusive understanding of the absolute truth. Very powerful, very much awakening of your spirit soul, your soul spirit. Right? Srivas Pandit became very afraid. He said, my Lord, I assure you there is no atheist here or non-believers in the house, only a brahmachari, fully qualified brahmana, who is sinless and drinks only milk and eats fruits. He inconclusive to the Lord. Srivas, you're inconclusive. He's not qualified for that reason. So you see, my Lord is the teacher of all persons here. Taught Srivas, he aimed his arrow at Srivas and hit us all with that arrow. We're dead materially and alive spiritually. Mad with ecstasy. Mad scientists who know the true science of Krishna consciousness. This is a really good show, isn't it? I love these shows. I feel like I'm on stage, man. Yeah. I always wanted to be an actor, Here I can be an actor, man. See, act out the truth, man. Finally, without fear, no compromise, man. Fight on the stage of the world, just smashing Mayak speculations. See, Lord Chaitanya said, inconclusive. Throw that brahmachari out of here. What kind of austerities can he do to attain my grace and my intimate kirtan? That's inconclusive, Srivas. Now, the real conclusion is this person went through you because you're my devotee. And you're only saying these things out of strictness, so you have me teach the real path. And I'm so fortunate I get to pulverize Maya by reenacting that truth again. See, reanimating that truth where people can feel it. You got to meet a real storyteller. See, the storyteller who tells the most truthful story sets that precedent, that reality for future generations. And that's what we're doing here. We're going up against Carl Schwab's story. He wants to make a dystopian future. No, we want to make a utopian future. And all you need is the real word of God, just the way the Lord spoke it and taught it again. And that's all you need. Not the way these speculators are teaching you. That will not get you beyond the dystopian future. You need to hear the real conception of what the Lord taught. What is the essence of the absolute truth? What is the true path in life is the mercy of Lord Caitanya that comes through his real devotees who are dispersing it without holding it back. And that is here, and that is now, and this is the only place I've seen it. Even the Rhymer says, Prema Bhakti? Oh, no, I'm sorry. You get nada of that, man. Many lifetimes before you get that. See, all because the Lord didn't give him the word. What is the word? Is his intimate intention and desire, his intimate truth that he brought to this world. That's all I'm doing, is belting out that truth, man, yelling it from the rooftops until people get it. Upgrade that mercy. Yeah, that mercy. See, this truth is right there before people, but who sees it? Only the one the Lord empowers. He gives them the real understanding. You have to worship the Lord in ecstasy. And if you want to get to the ecstatic worship, you have to go through a Srivas who actually already does, who actually has ecstatic love for the Lord. It's not enough just to see Lord Caitanya. I mean, you could see him and you like him and all that. But, Mother Sachi saw him and liked him and all like that. And I'll tell you, people who see the Lord and like him like that, what the Lord told him, by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, you will get prema. You will get this ecstatic prema and your heart will melt and tears will come to your eyes and you'll laugh like a madman or woman. Otherwise not. By the mercy of the Vaishnavas. So go to their Sadhu Sangha programs. Run to them. Ramananda Roy said, if ecstatic, spontaneous love of God is available somewhere on this planet, you should immediately fly there. See? You don't even have to fly here. We fly to you. Turn your camera on, you flies. Otherwise, you're going to get the fly squatter. We're going to get the bulldog to sit on your face. That's what this Maria's bulldog likes to sit on everybody. Wherever we get her butt sits right down on it. Hey, 18 people here. We're doing good, man. Careful. What? That's a glorification of your bulldog, man. It's endearing. It's an endearing quality of that bulldog. He wants to sit on your foot. Everything. He wants his butt everywhere. It's just like a symptom of love, right? Symptom of intimacy. You know how that is with them, with Luna. So this information enraged the Lord. See, the Lord says that's not conclusive. The Lord is mad at you, you dry speculators, you dry renunciate, you see, the Lord was mad then, and I'm here to communicate. He's pissed off with you, renunciates. We're here to destroy that old idea. We're going to have the new world order. No, that's the old normal. And nothing's going back to that. This is a new normal, man. The mercy of Lord Caitanya is normal now. We're normalizing the mercy. Now, look at you guys. You're normalizing illusions and speculations as the normal. And what happens? Illusions and speculations, and people stay in illusion. They don't get their immortality. All the way from the demons to the demigods. Nobody's immortal till they come here to this sadhu sangha, and we speak words of immortality. Cause the immortal world to manifest right before your eyes. Expose those criminals. See, the Lord says, what is this? What you guys have been teaching? The Lord angers the Lord. The Lord loves the truth. The truth will set you free. What is that truth? Listen, you spies. I know there's at least 2 or 3 spies looking at what we're doing here. Sneaking in. Listen, you spies and everybody else. It's the devotees who have the intimate relationship with the Lord, who are empowered and anointed with the Spirit of God, that gets you into this intimate relationship, gets you into the kingdom. You don't even have to go any place, man. It's an elevation of consciousness. Yeah. See, so this is the way, See, the Lord got angry. You see, the Lord gets angry sometimes and teaches. Isn't that amazing? Devotees also you should see, if a devotee gets angry, he's like father, like son. And just listen even more carefully. If the devotee seems to be angry, it's all a show anyway for devotees. So if he's apparently angry, listen to the teaching, because there's something behind that anger. Just like the Lord got very angry. Srivas, enraged. This is, look, you see this? Enraged. See, because my Lord doesn't like inconclusiveness. Srivas, what are you saying? He's not an atheist or a non-devotee. There are many atheists that do austerities and renounce and do sadhanas and everything. They have no ecstatic devotion awakened in their heart. Therefore, there's some level of atheism. Srivas, you're not conclusive. But, in a sense, in a way, you are conclusive, and this is how. See, this devotee surrendered to you to get into my kirtan. He approached you. He tried to approach me directly. It didn't work. I locked the door on those rascals. See? Or you tried to approach that transcendental Lord through an untranscendental speculative guru. They also, door is locked still. You find an authentic devotee who worships the Lord with true ecstatic love that you can see with your own eyes and be assured of that. And hear the witness program, those who are the first fruits, who have gotten this because of their faith and their belief in this kind of worship. You also very easily get this. See, what spiritual sadhana does he possess that enables him to see my dancing? See, the qualification is very high. You know what who is it? Prishni, when in the previous lives of Devaki, they did austerities to get the Lord as their son. And they didn't see that Lord, intimate dancing of the Lord when after 60,000 years, when they lived a long time of doing austerities, they didn't get what the Lord is giving freely just by going through his devotees. It is that easy, man. Those who believe in this preaching here, man, very easily you get prema bhakti, otherwise not. Otherwise, you're going to believe the speculators. See, Gaur Haridas is just calling out just think of this as like the supreme poker game, man. And you are the stakes. Your life is at stake, man. Your reality is at stake. Man, I'm calling the paraduces. I say the speculators, you speculators, man. You cannot produce this. And they all say, yeah, we got this, but we can't produce it. I say you got a pair of deuces and we got a straight flush here. See, we're forcing the hand, man. Now it's time to put up or shut up. See, we asked it, didn't we, Lalita? Didn't we ask him to put up or shut up? That one speculating guru. He's a guru, and we confronted him right out. Said, "Yeah, you're in our poker game now. Let's see your hand." No, I'm sorry. I can't show you. No, let me speculate on something. Let's see. Well, let's see. You're not supposed to show this. Well, you're showing your hand partially, and you're showing a pair of deuces. You don't have these revelations and realizations that are in line with the revealed scriptures like here. See, no potency, no power. They can't show the extent that the Lord has got mercy upon them. They care about outsiders, man. See, they care about, because they are outsiders themselves. See, that's the way it is. See, so we're calling out your hand, man. What do you got? I'm sorry, I'm not going to show you my hand. Well, you're not playing the game fair. What kind of stuff? This is Maya. We're calling you out, man. We show you our hand. See all this ecstatic devotion? That's that straight flush. You see this conclusive understanding in the vision of the revealed straight scriptures? This is 1, 2, 3. No. This is king, queen, jack, and ace. We aced it. Straight flush, royal flush. All the royalty. And you're sitting there. I don't want to show you my hand. I don't want to be exposed. Please go on. Let me be guru. Let me have disciples because I want to be important. No, not in this time. Not on our watch. No, pure devotion or nothing. Nada. We're breaking it down. Only the new world order is going to survive. All persons, devotees under the intimate association and mercy of the Lord. Those who believe in this preaching get over everything. You get over your material life. You get over your speculations. You get over all those demons guarding Vrindavan. We got those demons chained, man. They can't go. They can't enter. They just sit there with their chains on. Just walk right in to the kirtan of Lord Caitanya, man. It's right here. They never were on the real throne. That's all illusions. It's all props, man. They got no throne. This is the throne. The throne of God, man. Ecstatic devotion, conclusive truth. Yeah. That's the being throned. We enthrone the Lord, man. He's that conclusive truth. I get my happiness glorifying it. He's Radha's that ecstatic love. I get my happiness appreciating, relishing it. Relishing the bliss of it. They're not even on any thrones. They create an illusion that they're on a throne. What is a throne? They're on a bench, man, covered with some fabric. That's all it is. What is the throne? Conclusive truth, man. The devotee, whether they sit on the floor, on a high seat, it doesn't matter. See? The throne is the throne, the throne of the Lord. The Lord is enthroned in their heart, and they bring that out to you. Poop chair. Yeah. Right now, this very moment, take him out of the house. See, the Lord gets angry about inconclusiveness. You know, if Shivras would have said, well, Lord, you said don't bring him in here. But you know what? He came to me. He's my friend. I want him to come in. Lord would say, oh, great, that's conclusive. No problem. No reason for the Lord to get angry. He's going and doing right. He's going in the right way. Oh, yeah, no problem. Have him come in there now. But when Srivas said, what? The Lord said, what? You're saying he's qualified by austerity that they're teaching in all these groups here? What? He's qualified by being a vegetarian or fruitarian or a milk drinker? What? He's qualified by being celibate, not having any sex? What? That's inconclusive. This is not Kali Yuga, man. No, Kali Yuga, you could be a demon, you could be a demigod, you could be anything. But if you're favorable to my devotee, you get into an intimate kirtan with me just by faith in my real devotee. He has faith in you. He humbled himself just naturally. He didn't think himself better than you. He thought you were better than him because of your intimacy with me that he saw signs of. He said, oh, look at that. You're getting in the intimate kirtan, not me. What do? You have to look there. You have to look at Lalita and Johans and Janakis and Govindas and see, and rivers and see, they're in the intimate kirtan of the Lord. The Lord has accepted their worship, and he's so much so, they're so much worshiping intimately. Let me also go there. Well, I don't know, but that person, that river, she's got a fault, man. She's coarse. Well, hey, man, the Lord doesn't have a problem with her. Why should you? Follow in the footsteps of the Lord. The Lord's given himself to these kind of devotees who have the ecstatic symptoms. That's a good sign. That's a good association. But when I'm around them, they're mean to me. Doesn't matter. Let them be mean. You're going to get purified because the Lord has accepted them as their associate. See, these things you learn in Sadhu Sangha. That's why I wouldn't miss even one, ever. Myself, I learn all. I'm also a part of this audience. I think this stuff is valuable. Yeah. I know this stuff is valuable. I experience it. See, the Lord loves conclusiveness. See, that's why. Huh. The Lord dramatically raised his arms. You see, the Lord is like an actor. He's not. He's mad, but that madness is. He's angry, but that anger is to do with Krishna consciousness. We're teaching us, right? See, if you see devotees angry or something, then they're preaching. Don't think that's mundane. They're using it. They're being used. This is transcendental. I mean, if it's transcendental, usually it's not. This. But if you happen to see a real devotee, they'll have the nature of the Lord. Sometimes they get angry to preach these principles. So the Lord dramatically raised his arms and pointed his finger to make a point. Something like this. Make a point. Finger. Watch out for those fingers, man. If you get the finger, you're lucky. Like that. Just by drinking milk, no one can attain me. Even a low caste dog eater can claim me if he takes full shelter of me, then I accept him. See? So people think, oh, I'll just go to Lord Caitanya directly and get full shelter. No, not like that. See? No, if they do what that brahmachari did, they come through the devotee. then that's how you get the shelter, Lord. You just have to recognize the real devotees. That's what we preach here, how to recognize the devotees who have real devotion and real conclusive understanding of the Lord's real nature. You listen to them and you found the real path. Just in their conception is the true conception of the absolute truth, checkable in the books. See, you get angry. Lord Caitanya doesn't get angry. Ah, I see. Inconclusive, Maria. See, the Lord does get angry. See, the book, the book smashes your understanding. See, you're looking at the Lord, and He's only showing part of Himself to you. That other part has to develop. See, then the relationship gets very juicy. The devotees back then, they were shaking, man. The Lord is angry, because but loving it too. Well, many of them. Some of them, it depends on their advancement. See, the thing you can learn here is conclusiveness, because you're looking at the Lord from a certain level. See, as I told you before, you're new. I am okay. You see the Lord, see, but that's going to develop into more understanding His nature. That's why we're together. That you made this connection. Otherwise, you might, some people get off at this stop. Okay, that's good enough. I see the Lord. I have a nice, cordial relationship. He just kind of looks at me like this. I don't understand his real nature or deeper nature, but he kind of like, no, if you're good with that, okay. Well, I just very greedy. I want more. See, even a low caste dog eater can claim me if he takes full shelter of me. See, full shelter means you get a bona fide guru, and the Lord comes as that guru, and they teach you how to take full shelter of the Lord. They teach you just simply by you taking shelter, the conclusive truth that they speak, because that's God. That's Lord Caitanya. He's that word as it is. He's these words we speak, and we prove it too. You can look in the book and say, yeah, that's the way it is. Yeah. Yeah, he sent that, put us together so you can develop that relationship. You'll see the Lord will become even more animated, which is fun. It's nice to see the Lord's given you a gift to see the unseen. And so you'll see that relationship will develop too. That's why, I was always, when I asked you, what's the Lord saying to you? And often you say, well, He's not really saying much or anything, but he'll talk more as you develop the relationship. You'll see. Like a sock, you must let yourself be turned inside out by the Guru's word. Hey, David, welcome there. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's basically, it's just, this is how you get it, man. See, then you prove to the Lord you surrender. And see, you become the verses. If you're lucky in some life, you get a real living guru. Okay, and then you get to understand the verses by experience. By the mercy of Krishna, you get guru, and then by the mercy of Krishna, by the mercy of guru, you get this deepening, ever deepening relationship with Krishna. See, it becomes more and more ecstatic. All these verses come to life. See, and by surrendering to Guru, by his surrendering to the Word, not just surrendering. You got to. If you got the real Guru, you're going to get the real conception of Krishna consciousness. And when you surrender to that conception, surrender is you accept it. You abandon your misunderstandings because you don't. You can see you don't have that kind of bhakti that the Guru has. You don't have that power to lead people into the kingdom like they do. It's a special empowerment. Okay? And so when you abandon your opinions, think, well, this isn't working for me so good. Look, these opinions work better and they're more clear and they clear me out. And see, that's gradually surrender more and more that way. See, if he takes full shelter of me. So that's why you see the verses come into play now. See, so Lord Caitanya quoted other verses. He said, "Oh, those who claim to be my direct devotees are not my real devotees, but those who are the devotees of my devotees are my real devotees." See, you got to be a devotee of those who are transcendental. You can't say I'm a devotee of somebody, some unrealized guru. Say, "Oh, I'm a devotee of Tamal Krishna." See, that's not surrendering to the Lord. You're surrendering to his material representation because, that's, you know, you think, well, he didn't exhibit the qualities of a transcendental personality. You got to prove it. Ultimately, you got to prove it, man. You got to prove that you have ecstasy. You got to prove that you have the conclusive truth that's in the vision of the revealed scriptures. Yeah, it's just how it works. Um, yeah, and then you'll get in. But if you say, you see, Gohari, you're criticizing Tamal Krishna or somebody. Oh yeah, what is the criticism? Pointing out the faulty worship of the people. That's why they don't have love of Krishna. You don't. That's why these devotees who are the disciples of Tamal Krishna don't have the kind of love of God that my disciples have, like Lalita Ganga and Johan and others here. See, because they're surrendering to a person that doesn't have this kind of transcendental quality. You can show me one disciple of Tamal Krishna that has the ecstasy of love of Krishna. Well, I'll show you one that doesn't. He just came before us, and he claims to be Guru. He's Guru Dev, and Tamal Krishna is his worshipable Lord, his master. And he doesn't like our ecstasy. He doesn't believe in it. He doesn't believe in our words. He doesn't believe in our ecstasy that we have. He doesn't believe in our revelation and realization. And he's a disciple of Tamal Krishna. It's time for the world to know this stuff. Well, that's what you get. So you can follow him if you want. Is anybody out there? His name is Ramdas Vijayavasi. Everybody, you can follow him. He's a disciple and admitted and glorifying. He's a disciple of Tamal Krishna, and he claims to be a prema bhakti. Bhakti without the prema, he won't show it. He can't show it. He will tell you, he will not show you that prema. That's because he's a disciple of Tamal Krishna who doesn't have any prema, never showed he had any prema. You want him to put up another class of his, and I'll show you the difference between our classes and his? Ours are more spirited, full of spirit, full of life, full of truth, full of ecstatic bliss. Hey, we're here. Prove it, man. Prove it, man. You're disciple Tamal Krishna there, Ramdas Vijayavasi. You're a pure devotee with prema bhakti and you can deliver Brahma. Well, let's see the prema. He's, no way. Well, your conclusive understanding is not conclusive. That shows you, I don't believe you have prema. Let's see your spread of cards. Put out your cards, man. We're calling your bluff. I put all my chips in. All my chips are all the devotees here. I put them all in. You're the stakes, my friends, because if Gohari is wrong, and he knows he's not wrong, I full confidence. We got a royal flush here. Okay, you put in your thing. Let's see your ecstasy. Let's see you got some wealth. I don't believe he has any wealth. I think he was bluffing. He's got no real chips. What do you think? I don't believe he has any chips. I don't believe he has any wealth of bhakti, wealth of love of Krishna. I don't believe he has any conclusive understanding because he put those in there. I'm thinking, that ain't good. That ain't right. Speculation. So this goes for, we use Ramdas Vijayavasi as a target, but we're hitting with these arrows. One arrow splits into 5,000 arrows and hits every one of those gurus who's like that, who has no ecstasy and can't prove it, and no conclusive understanding in the vision of these books. We just hit you all. It's like one of those, they have these missiles, nuclear missiles, man. They go up in the air, and then they split off and they hit all the targets. Some miss, but ours don't miss, man. He does talk more and more and more throughout the weeks. Yeah, yeah. It's because of our association. I want to hear what Krishna says. I need that guidance in the heart. Yeah, well, you see, David, that comes by being here more. See, come more often to Sadhu Sangha, and you'll see just automatically. Otherwise, if you don't come here often, then you'll see your relationship will kind of go slower. See? This is fast tracking everything, as we're here for. It's a rare opportunity. What you hear here is different than anybody else. You'll see it has more power than all these other persons, even though they say or they seem like it. They see, I checked them all out already, all of them, even the one that you think is so great. I checked him out. I know him. I talk with him. I seen him. I see his bhakti. I see what he preaches, his conclusions. I've already analyzed so many things so that we can preach. This is fast tracking it. Yeah, your bhakti will develop very fast and goes for everybody here. Now, darn those holy socks. No contaminated thread here. I only see Lord Caitanya. I haven't seen Krishna yet. Yeah. Yeah, and you will, but you got to trust the process. And you will see Krishna, and you'll like seeing Krishna too. The devotees, they said, the devotees of Lord Caitanya got to see Krishna. Also, you keep on talking about that. Why? No one here is following that person or whoever he is. Well, you're not the only person in the Sangha here. These are all examples. The Lord uses examples. That's how we preach. Got to have some example, man. Yeah, Rambai Vijayavasi. Yeah, he was here. He was here. He's gone for a while. Maybe he'll come back. Okay, let's take that. All right. So Ram Vijayavasi speaks. The Bhagavad Gita as it is translated by Srila Prabhupada, even though it was changed many times, or even the Holy Bible has many versions. Um, the Lord will still give you the right understanding from within the heart. Krishna says, I am seated in the heart, and from me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. See, he's talking from the point of he believes he's a pure devotee. He believes he's conclusive. You know, what he's saying is still inconclusive. It is not complete. That's basically giving every. Oh, you don't need a living guru to bring you to the point of real pure ecstasy. You can just do that. The Bible is written and all that stuff, and therefore you can just take Prabhupada's books. Take the Bible and you'll become a pure devotee in your heart. And I see Christians, they need living shiksha, man. You need shiksha also. That's not a clear statement. That's like going directly. You say, oh yeah, well, The Lord is seated in everybody's heart, and I'll just take the book and it'll awaken to me. That's inconclusive, inconclusive, inconclusive. That's why it takes a long time being around speculators like him. Speculation, speculation, speculation. The Lord doesn't accept that. I don't accept that. Ain't true. You know what I accept? The real book Bhagavad. You know what the book Bhagavad says, Mr. Ram Das Vrijavasi and everybody else like you? This is what the book says. By the action of the book Bhagavad, you see, the book Bhagavad and the devotee Bhagavad, absorbed in the true mellows of devotion, not the speculations that you're absorbed in. No, the true mellows of devotion. That's the real guru. See, by the action of that book in the hands, that Bhagavad Gita, in the hands of a real devotee Bhagavad, real conclusive, teaching you the real path, the mellows of devotion will be instilled in your heart, not beforehand. You're a proof of it. See? You're proof of making God angry. If he were here, and he is in a sense because he's right here, and he's chastising you and everybody else, that promotes speculation. That's why it takes so long for people to realize God, because they don't hear the real Bhagavatam. It's by the action of the book Bhagavad and the devotee Bhagavad that these mellows are in your heart. I don't care if you don't like this little bit of emphasis and the finger, and just like the Lord raised his hand, pointed at his finger. You don't like that? Too friggin' bad, because we're reenacting these pastimes again. It's the Lord inspiring this, right? Isn't it? He did that then. He does it now again to make his point. Oh, that's not enough? Okay, by regular classes in Srimad Bhagavatam. Canto 1, second chapter, verse number 18, man, by regular classes in Bhagavatam. See, that book that he says the Lord will awaken in your heart and doesn't to him. He speculates. See, by regular classes in Bhagavatam and by service to the pure devotee. See, a living person, realized soul, pure devotee. All that's troublesome to your heart. And you got troubles there, my friend. You're a speculator. You're misleading people. You're a blind leader teaching blindness to people. And everybody else like you, and there's so many. See, they don't get the real book Bhagavad. You're speculating on the book. You see, I quoted the verses. What's so hard to understand? You need a living devotee, man, with living bhakti and the living word to purify your mental speculations. The regular classes in Srimad Bhagavatam, and by service to the pure devotee, all that's troublesome to the heart, that's troublesome in his heart and everybody other speculator, is removed to almost nil. Then that thing he's talking about, ecstatic love, the Lord in the heart will awaken. Hey, you got to follow the process. You got to trust the real guru, man. If you think you know more than the guru, you're casting the false follower. You have a different opinion. Why wouldn't you want to accept real authorities? He can't even prove that he's an ecstatic devotee. He was, oh, well, we don't show. I don't show. Just like all of them said that. Every one of them. Ask all the Narayan Raj persons. Oh, we don't show. We don't show. They're all no shows, man. So there's no transcendental divine show going on. Nobody who actually has the real Lord there. They're lying to you, cheating you, or bullshitting you. See? We've got the real show here. We got from the devotees here that have got this mercy, ecstatic prema emanation. See? From their realizations that come from that ecstatic devotion, like Bhagavad Gita there, because they've trusted the real process, they followed the real guru, that he can't bring you there because he's not conclusive. What I just told you is conclusive understanding on this. What about Madhusudana? Did you believe what he said? Did that make sense to you? Because if it made sense to you, then you're on that level of speculation like him. If you agree with this conclusion, well, you're going to get what we got. But if you are not sincere with your devotion and worship even the written words of the scriptures remain original and unchanged. See, and worship even the written words of the scriptures remain original or unchanged. You will never get the correct understanding, but knowledge which is meant for the impious and the Maraputta Gyan. What is this? But if you are not, oops. But if you are not sincere with your devotion and worship even the written words of the scripture remain original or unchanged, you will never get the correct understanding, but knowledge, yeah. Yeah, but anyway, you need the association of the real devotees who have real bhakti. Otherwise, they won't know. He won't know. He's got to. That's why he challenges this. The people, they can't get into the kingdom that way. He's still speculating. You cannot relish transcendental mellows by speculation. You have to have revelation. You have to worship the Lord in genuine, pure, ecstatic love of God. And then you get the correct revelation and you preach that to others, and now they get purified. These words would purify him if they accepted it, but he doesn't. He wants to challenge them, he wants to fight with them. That's just how it is, he thinks he knows. And if he doesn't abandon his opinion and others like that, they don't get this bhakti. Look at you guys. Many people, you come and you listen carefully. And your heart accepts these opinions because it's not contaminated. And whatever is a problem in there comes out. And therefore you can relish these mellows. And the speculators can't. That's why they can't show. You guys can show. How come Lalita Ganga can show and you can't show? You're a guru, man. By the way, this is for all gurus. I'm targeting him and hitting every one of them. How come my disciple Lalita and Johan can show? And others also can show. How come they can show and you can't? I say you got a pair of deuces. You don't have a real hand. I'd say you're speculating even on your bhakti because you don't have that kind of bhakti. They do because they found a real guru that's empowered by the real transcendental Krishna and Radha and Lord Caitanya and the Parampara. Therefore, they get the result of that very easily, and you don't. You can just get you just bamboozle all your neophyte followers, impress them with your speculations, and neither you remain blind, and so do they. What good a path is that? Is the audio okay? See, tears stream down my face. Yeah, if you hear the conclusive truth, that's Krishna in your heart, giving you some mercy. So people say, you see, Gaurahari, I just tell you what people think. See, Gaurahari, he's trying to make himself better than others. Is that really true? I'm not trying, I'm just doing it. I'm making the conclusion that is better than speculation, to be on top, because if it's on top, people get delivered. If speculation is saying that's Guru Dev, speculation keeps you in the material universe. This conclusion sets you free if it's put on top. If people are convinced that it's the conclusive truth that pleases the Radha in your heart, awakens devotion, like you see, tears are streaming down this person's eyes. Why? Because that's Radha Rani inside the heart saying, "Wow, I love hearing these truths. I've been waiting for somebody to speak these truths and delivering money. I'm locked up." She's like that what's that lady locked up in the tower up there. See, Radha is locked up in your hearts, man, in the tower of your hearts, man, screaming down, can anybody, liberate me? Well, we're screaming up into the tower. Arise, Radha, in the tower of the people's heart. Manifest your love of God now. Lord, please do it. You know what it could be there, David? Is you just need to restart your computer or phone because it's using too much memory. So it slows it down. Rapunzel, yes. Rapunzel up there in the locked tower. That's Radharani in people's hearts. She's locked up, man. She's sitting there looking out at the prison bars, man. She's in prison. See, conclusive truth. The truth will set you free. Didn't Jesus say the conclusive truth will set you free? What does that mean? You need to know clearly what is the truth. The truth is reality, the highest reality, distinguished from the illusion that you believed in for so many lifetimes, or this life. You believed in gurus and teachers that have been speculating. See, this truth will set you free because it's conclusive. It's based because of ecstatic worship for a very long time. Very clear. It's like a razor cutting you free. Yeah. So restart, plug your computer in and restart it, and it'll be all will be well. Or watch it on your phone too. That'll work. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we had fun, huh? Really, it was pretty dramatic performance here. You know. Yeah, it's good. Well, maybe I read a little more. A person may be a sannyasi, a renunciate without any worldly attachments. See? So anyway, hey, a person may, you got to look at how the Lord was. He was in an angry mood, conclusive. A person may be a sannyasi, a renunciate without any worldly attachments. But if he does not surrender to me, then I do not favor him. See, again, that's why you see we have sannyasis, we have gurus out there, we have Brahmins, but they don't surrender to the Lord. How? Why? Well, they say, well, we're surrendering. See, we believe in Prabhupada. We believe in Krishna and Lord Caitanya. We're following the path. We're doing austerities. We're renouncing. See, but they don't believe in those who are come here to deliver them. That's surrender to the Lord. You're not clear enough yet. See, you prove that you have more faith in your austerities and renunciations and everything to get the Lord. And I'm saying, hey, the Lord is here. The Lord is conclusive knowledge and truth. He's this ecstatic worship you see here. And you're showing you're not surrendering to this. You're not surrendering where the Lord is delivering people left and right, upwards and downwards. That's the meaning of this verse. It's pretty clear, isn't it? See, they're maintaining their renunciation. See, the verse says like that. A person may be a sannyasi. Like these gurus, there's most of them, practically all of them are sannyasis, or they act like a sannyasi. See, renunciate without worldly attachments. Say like a Narayan Raj. But if he does not surrender to me, I do not favor them. Well, how do you know how to surrender to the Lord? Well, the Lord either comes himself as a devotee like Lord Caitanya, or he comes as a devotee of Lord Caitanya. Well, because in our line is Lord Caitanya and Radha and Krishna. And when you surrender to the conception that they preach, that's surrender to the Lord. The Lord is the conception is preached by his real devotees, not speculating wannabe devotees. They're on there in the process, but they speculate like that verse you just said. See, and they always do the same thing like these sannyas. No, we trust in our austerities and our renunciations and our sadhanas and our conclusions. We don't, well, people are getting the opportunity to surrender. You surrender to these conclusions, you're going to get ecstatic love. If you don't, if you want to fight, well, you want to make war, well, you made war with the right person. Make war. Yeah, I'm ready. Huh. We're winning already. Look at all the devotees, the housewives, anybody. Come here, you could be a retard and you start to cry for Krishna. You cry when you chant your guru's name here. If you're following the process. See, that's, I'm telling you how, here it's in the book, how to surrender, but who knows? That Ram Das Vrijavasi doesn't know how to surrender. He's telling you to go directly. And I say, go through his devotee when the devotees manifest, because it works. It always worked. It's the truth, man. Jesus even said, those who believe in me, well, all their sins are forgiven. That he's an intimate, associate, empowered. That goes for every intimate, ecstatic, empowered devotee. You believe in this word, in this preaching, you are set free. It works. It's guaranteed to work. I've already proved it so many times. No, we proved it. The devotee and my Lord, we work as a team. We're codependent. We're co-pilots. No, make war first there, Freddie, then love. See, because if you come to accept the devotees, then you very easily get this. Yeah. See, it's always the same preaching, my friends. Always the same teaching. See, Jesus said, those who believe in my word, all their sins are forgiven. Bhagavatam says the same thing. The Bhagavatam says, the pastimes of Krishna. This is the same thing. The word of a devotee is the word of God. They teach you the true nature of God, the true conception of God. You hear from them and only them. They're purified by ecstatic, pure worship of the Lord. Gives them the pure word that awakens bhakti in you. Yes, it is correct. Those who awaken devotion to Krishna are certainly the spiritual master. See? Srimad Bhagavatam, the pastimes of the Lord. See, they wipe away all the sins of people. Bestow ecstatic devotion on the people. They're transmitted by great personalities. See, those who have the Lord in the heart. See? You become a great personality, not even thinking anything of it. I'm just more thinking about the Lord. The Lord is the great personality. It's so nice. He decides to live in us. He wants to live in you. If you believe in these words, then he will live in you too. He will agree to live into you. That's how it works. That's the truth. We've already done it. It is factual. Factual. Fact. It is factual. See? The fact that makes you well, that heals you forever. See? Factual. These are the kinds of facts you need to have. These are the kind of facts that heal you forever. Factual. Well. See, well is in there too. It's also a well. The facts of life. See, the true nature of Krishna. See, puts you in the well of life forever, man. We just always drawing water all the time, man. All the time. Drawing more water. Look, already 2 hours again. My God, man. 3 hours this morning, another 2 hours already. Down the drain. Our time is going down the drain. Well, maybe it's our sins that are going down the drain. Maybe it's our ignorance going down the drain. So what we do is we fact everybody so that you can become well. That's what we do. Thank you, Freddie. We're facting you well. We're giving you the facts so that you can be well. Now that's pretty good, huh? Pretty awesome, huh? I see Guru Sridhar almost every day. I watched at least one or two of his live videos once a day. More committed than that possible? No, I think you're doing great. Sometimes I target people. You may think you're the target, or somebody else may think they're the target, but we can use each other as a target and then hit the world. There are a lot of people who don't come here every day. They don't come and watch regularly. So thank you very much for your service, Maria. Even if it doesn't, see, a lot of people think, oh, this is not fair. He's not. I also do. Yeah, well, we might be using you as an example so we can hit others who are the actual, ones who don't do this stuff. Okay. Anyway, I think my voice is finished again. That's right. Yeah, now you know why I was grumpy there, Maria. I copped to it. I was grumpy. I was grumpy because you told me, like, well, if I chant Lord Chaitanya, I chanted Lord Chaitanya, I did it for you. And then you tell me I got to chant Lord Chaitanya. It got me very grumpy. I became a grump after that. I was thinking, who is she to tell me to chant Lord Chaitanya's name? Yeah, it got me really grumpy. She, she's probably the only one who can get my goat. That's why I'm fighting you. Well, I feel better now. I don't know. I expressed my grumpiness. Sometimes, you got to be a grump. You got to be. I was looking for an angry pastime where I can get my grumpiness out, man. Okay, my friends, thank you very much. I feel expressed now. I feel like I got all my grumps out. I got all my beefs out on everything. Yeah. Hare Krishna, everybody. Have a good day, huh? I worked up an appetite, man. I gotta eat something.